Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. South Africa have started proceedings against Israel in the International Court of Justice, and we at Lewisham Islamic Center fully support their stance and the proceedings that they have taken. And we congratulate South Africa on taking the right side of history, and we congratulate every South African for the stance their government has taken. They should be proud of being on the right side of history in a time where many governments and nation states have shown their hypocrisy, supporting the resistance of the Ukrainians against Russia whilst they stand against the resistance of the Palestinians against Israel. Is it likely that this is going to make a difference on the ground? Perhaps not immediately. It's likely that this will take many years for any fruit to come from the proceedings that have been taken against Israel, but it could lead to, at least on the ground, a stop in the attacks and the genocidal behavior on behalf of Israel whilst an investigation is taking place. What should we do as Muslims? Number one, we should support the stance taken by South Africa. Number two, we should not hang our hopes up on the International Court of Justice. We should not hang our hopes up on any external body, i.e. external from our ummah. Rather, we should hang our hopes with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we should take action in order to change our situation as an ummah and the situation of our brothers and sisters in Palestine. What action can we take to change the situation? Number one, self-rectification, and that's the first and the foremost and the most important, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not change a nation until they change themselves. Therefore, we should endeavor to change ourselves as individuals and as a collective, and we should rectify ourselves by addressing our own personal sins and the sins of our community. Number two, education. Educate ourselves and our children and the generations to come, but not education for the sake of education, but rather education for the sake of revival and rectification. The Prophet ﷺ encouraged us to study for the sake of revival of Islam, and that is what we need right now, and that is what has been promised by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give victory to the ummah of Islam and to the believers wherever the believers are, and we want to be a part of that victory. And if we want to be a part of that victory, we have to prepare ourselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu udkhulu fi silmi kaffa. O you who believe, enter into Islam, into as-silm completely. Immerse yourselves completely into the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's what we need. We need to immerse ourselves completely. Every aspect of Islam, adorn ourselves with it, so that we can aid in the future the deen of Islam. And in the meantime, we prepare ourselves for that aid. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad.